Yeah.
Next question.
Greeny, yes. Greeny, yes, I'm with that. Here's the in the mud of it. What happens if Aaron Rodgers missed because of something that maybe is politically based or whatever, that really isn't an important moment? Because here's the timeline of how this usually happens. Most guys in the NFL, unless you're playing for a team with a new head coach, know that your mandatory minicamp is going to be sometime around the first or second week of June. Ends the offseason, kickstarts your summer. So most guys plan their life around that a little bit. So if you get something that's that important around that time, you figure out, can I not? But what happens if it's not a big deal or not that important of a thing?
The guy was almost vice president.
And then Robert's got to protect himself a little bit.
I get it. So whatever it is, they obviously have decided it's okay. Because he did what he did.
You know what? He's Aaron Rodgers. That's why it's okay.
They haven't decided that it's okay, Greeny. He literally said he's subject to fines.
Right, because in theory it is mandatory. But if they really had a problem with him being there, I'd like to think he would be there.
It's important to us.
Right.
Listen, if he likes it, we love it.
Yes.
How about that?
Those were just a lot of words. You can check out promos like Seeing Green exclusively in the ESPN Bet app. As the official sportsbook of ESPN, is the only place to find offers and promotions from your favorite ESPN shows and personalities. New users can get a bet reset up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. Download today. What a play. All right, coming up, he reported to mandatory minicamp last week, but one member of our team says this Cowboys superstar needs to stay home from here on out. You'll hear who and why. Plus, Drew is the glue for Boston. No one has had a bigger impact in these finals than Mr. Holiday, and I'm going to explain to you exactly how. Next.
Marie is ready to buy her first home.
But a down payment and closing costs, those are big checks.
Good thing I have big news. Come on. When you buy with Rocket Homes and finance with Rocket Mortgage, you get up to $10,000 cash toward closing from Rocket Mortgage. Yeah, and one you can get only with Rocket. Isn't that a good deal? That's a good deal, right? Visit onlywithrocket.com to get started today.
Whether you call her Abuela, Nana, Yaya, Gramps, Gigi, Mimi, or Granny, Grandma knows a sweet treat makes any meal special. So come to McDonald's and treat yourself to the Grandma McFlurry today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Pause for the facts. Susie here is shopping for a used car, but she doesn't know that nearly half of them have been in an accident.
Interesting.
But Carfax.com shows how accidents impact price, so she doesn't have to overpay. Unpause.
Whoa.
Shop the all-new Carfax.com.
To give your teeth a dentist clean feeling, start with a round brush head, add power, and you've got Oral-B. Round cleans better by surrounding each tooth to remove 100% more plaque for a superior clean. Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Brunch is just a lunch that doesn't believe in itself. This brunch needs a surprise. Brunch is on me! Yo, can you get this? Bro, what? Smirnoff Ice. Life's better with surprises.
Welcome to our Sunday night booth. To be live on ESPN talking about this mid-game.
Say cheese.
We got to do whatever we can to try to get it done.
Welcome, big-time players.
That guy is a superstar.
Big-time plays.
Oh, my God, he caught it!
Are you kidding me?
And big-time personalities.
Unbelievable.
Start showing off.
Welcome to the show. Yankees, Red Sox, Sunday Night Baseball. Sunday at 7 on ESPN.
It's a showdown with championship vibes.
Yeah, you can't get enough.
Two powerhouses clash in a rematch of last year's WNBA Finals.
Get it done!
Liberty Aces, Saturday at 3 on ABC.
When the hand is raised, you'll realize that this sport is so much more.
This is the story of the one.
The one who believes being prepared is not just a way of life, it's how he helps everyone stay safe. He sweats the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. For the one, being an unsung hero in a building full of everyday heroes is just how he likes it. The industrial-grade products you need delivered fast. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We have a deal. Thanks, everyone.
Can you imagine if it was $1 million instead of $1 billion?
We'd be so fired.
I know. Check the outer notes.
Oh. Ah, yes. Multiple meetings say billion with a B. We've got this.
Otter, you got this. Get customizable furniture at joybird.com that complements your art, your green thumb, or just you. Create your dream space with Joybird. Shop an unparalleled selection at joybird.com.
Holiday deflects it. Doncic has to throw it. White with the steal. Holiday to Horford. Holiday a three. Bang! Drew Holiday from downtown. Lead back up to 11.
If the NBA Finals had ended on Sunday night, my vote for MVP would have gone to Drew Holiday, who has continued this season to prove what I have long said, and that is that he is only a role player if you define his role as anything his team needs on a given night to win. Let us count the ways he is doing that in this series alone. Holiday led the way in Game 2 with 26 points on 11 of 14 shooting, with 11 rebounds and 0 turnovers. In so doing, he became the first guard with 25 points, 10 boards on 75% shooting in any finals game in the entire shot clock era. Michael never did that. Magic never did it. Not Kobe, not Jerry West. Drew Holiday. For this series, he has 38 points and 0 turnovers. Only Michael Jordan ever had more in the first 2 games of any finals without turning it over. In fact, for the entire playoffs, Holiday is 51% from the floor, 40% from 3, and 95% from the line. He is on pace to post the first 50, 40, 95 postseason ever. But wait, there's more. Holiday has also dominated his matchup against Kyrie Irving on the other end of the floor. Kyrie averaged 27 against Minnesota's #1 defense in the West Final. Against Holiday, he has scored 6 points on 8 shots. He has taken the 3rd most shots of anyone in this series and scored the 8th most points. But that is nothing new for Holiday, who has been all defense 4 straight years. By the way, when he won the title with Milwaukee, he had the best plus-minus in the finals, as he does again now. So, on this, his 34th birthday, here is a salute to Drew Holiday. If that guy is a role player, he is the best one the league has seen in a very long time. That's what I think. C.J. McCollum, what do you think?
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Way to give him his flowers. Clap it up for Drew.
Right. Also, happy birthday, Drew. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
The guy's
Drew.
just so freaking good, and he never gets any credit. And when Boston signed him, like, who would have thought? I know Dame is your guy, and he's a great player. I'm not even suggesting Drew Holiday is better than him. But when Milwaukee got Dame and Boston got Drew, who would have thought it would be that move would wind up being the one that propelled the Celtics to the finals?
That was the final piece that they needed. You talk about role player. You talk about his ability to do any and everything on a given night. How many players in the league do you know that can get 26, 10 on 75%, hit big threes? Oh, by the way, go guard the best player on the other team, completely take him out of the game, go guard the second best player.
What's it like when he's guarding you?
It's a nightmare. He talked about what it's like to guard Kyrie and Luka. He said pray, and then he wore a shirt that said prayed for it. And then he went and locked him up. He's strong, he's sturdy, he has great lateral quickness, he's disciplined, he doesn't jump for ball fakes. And I think the cool part about him is that he's a humble beast, right? Like, he'll lock you up and not really talk trash. He'll get stops, make big shots, and I think he has respect from all of the league, and the players respect him. That's why you don't hear us talking about how he's underrated, because we know what he's about, we know he's good, and we know how much he's getting paid, too.
What do you think, Drea?
The discipline defensively, like to have that much impact, but it's not from lunging, it's not from getting out of position, it's not from fouling, it's not from being overly physical, it's from being in the right place at the right time, from moving your feet, from anticipating. He is so solid on defense, and his effort is consistent on that end of the floor. That's the part that stands out to me defensively. Offensively, does he ever look sped up? He always looks like he's playing at his pace. He always looks under control, especially in this series. In that last game, every move he made, hesitation, crossover, okay, now this defender comes. It's just so under control and so intentional. He's incredible. You can tell he's a great leader. He brings a ton of experience, and he's solid. It would be so full circle for him to already, he's had it, but to have this big of an impact in this NBA Finals run after Milwaukee let him go. What a beautiful moment for Jrue Holiday.
So, Winman, if I'm suggesting I think he's the most underappreciated, genuine star in the NBA, are you buying what I'm selling?
He's also a rock-solid member in the locker room and an absolute asset to any community he's played in. He's still involved in the communities in New Orleans and in Milwaukee, where he no longer plays anymore. And that's one of the reasons why Boston gave him a $135 million extension in April. And here's something else. He was an all-star last year. He arguably had the best season of his career offensively last year for the Bucks, which is one of the reasons why Boston was just so crazy to get their hands on him. But he had a lot smaller role this year. He averaged 6 or 7 fewer points, and he never complained once. He was rewarded with the contract, but he never complained once. His 2 highest scoring games of the season in the conference finals and game 2 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, because he does it when it's needed and doesn't worry about not being the guy to get the shots up when it isn't needed. He's about winning. That's my point. And I keep hearing people refer to him as a role player. Here's my argument. All right, a role player. There are a lot of great role players in the NBA. Guy who he shoots threes, that's his role. Gets all the rebounds, that's his role. Lockdown defender, that's his role. You're not a role player to me if you do everything well, which he does. He's just an unsung star in the NBA. I voted for him All-NBA twice, and so far he's never made one of those teams, and I 100% believe he should.
He's a complete player. I mean, I think star is a great way to put it. He is a star, and that's the thing about this Boston team. When we talk about Jason Tatum struggling with efficiency from the field, he can do that because there are stars around him, Jrue Holiday being one of the biggest ones.
He was the perfect piece. That's why they went and got him. That's why he's doing so well. And I think for Jrue Holiday, he's a star in all of these roles because that's what they're asking him to do on any given night.
Right.
But if he was just tasked with the role of scoring, he could go get you 20 to 25 a night with ease with 7 or 8 assists. But he's tasked with the role of doing everything every night.
Yeah, again, I would vote for him for MVP of this series so far, and there's a long way to go. And we'll see what winds up happening. You mentioned Tatum. Very quickly, do you believe that the Celtics can continue to win if he doesn't start scoring more efficiently and just flat out more?
I do. I do think Boston can still win.
Even without Porzingis?
Well, Porzingis gives me a little bit of a pause, but they're still that good. Like, they have that much talent on the floor. They have that much depth. They have that much scoring power. We just talked about Jrue Holiday. He could be the one that steps up consistently with Kristaps Porzingis being limited. Jrue Holiday could step up and take on that scoring role. The biggest thing about Jason Tatum for me is he continues to create for his teammates around him, as long as he is creating, playing aggressive. We just talked about this when it came to Kyrie Irving. Watch the plays here. As Jason Tatum gets into the paint, these are big moments in the game. They're down 1. He gets an and-1 finish at the rim. They're down 1 again. He gets an and-1 finish. He finds his teammates hunting the paint, getting to the restricted area, playing with his head up, and kicking the ball out. As long as he's playing aggressive and playing with confidence, Boston can win because they're that good.
Yeah, he's playing well. He's not playing badly. He's just not dominating the games offensively, and sometimes people just look at those numbers. We can put the picks up, Cindy, on the screen. Everyone here who is making picks likes Dallas tonight in a game they need. Wendy covering this series, not making picks. Quickly, Wendy, what is the single biggest factor in the game tonight? What's the number one element you're looking for?
Obviously, you got Kyrie Irving. He has got to step up and have a more impactful game. If he does that, it changes the entire paradigm for Dallas, especially without Porzingis, because if Porzingis isn't in there, the Celtics' enormous margin for error shrinks. Kyrie has got to capture that territory and lift Dallas up on their home court.
We'll see tonight, which sort of feels like the series hangs in the balance. Game 3 NBA Finals tonight in Dallas, 8:30 Eastern on ABC, ESPN Deportes, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Radio, with the Celtics up 2-0. We'll tip our coverage with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern. Meanwhile, staying in Dallas, I've got a quick sound off for you here. The Cowboys, as you've probably heard, have a number of big name contract decisions to make, including a potential extension for Micah Parsons. Our own Chris Canty had a very interesting take on how that defensive star should handle the situation.
Micah Parsons shouldn't step foot on a football field this fall without a new deal. Micah Parsons is the best player on the damn team, and he's scheduled to make $2.9 million this year. Micah Parsons needs to take a page out of the Ezekiel Elliott playbook and demand that the Dallas Cowboys pay him his money right now.
That's our buddy Canty on ESPN Radio. Dan Orlovsky, you're shaking your head. You agree?
He's 100% right. Micah Parsons shouldn't step on the field without a new contract. Which one of the big three in Dallas is going to play the hard game, the long game? Is it going to be him, Dak Prescott, or CeeDee Lamb? It's going to be hard to pay all three of those guys what they're worth, in my opinion. And Micah Parsons is arguably the most disruptive edge in all of the NFL. Him, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt into that conversation. Greeny, the last player in the history of the NFL to have 12-plus sacks in seasons 1, 2, and 3 of their NFL careers, a guy named Reggie White. For $2.9 million, there's no way that Micah Parsons should risk injury, risk lessering his value, if that's possible, by stepping on the field for the Dallas Cowboys. Those guys need all to get paid: quarterback, wide receiver, and defensive end.
This is why I love this time of year, Greeny, because it is show me what I'm worth to you season. And I love that, because this is the time where if you have leverage, if you are star talent, and you know that your team deems that you're special, that you're versatile, that you are a leader, when your name is mentioned with all-time greats, yeah, I can't be making 2.9. Like, that's not enough. Like, that's wild. And unfortunately for the Cowboys, they put themselves in this position, but that's not on Micah. I don't think any player who wants to maximize his leverage should play, especially if he is a cornerstone guy on his team.
Right, I get it. Here's the thing. They're going to have to pay CeeDee Lamb because he is much closer. He is closer to the end of his contract. Dak completely controls his own situation. If I'm Dak, I'm playing it out. I'm not signing a contract if I'm Dak, and I become an unrestricted free agent at the end of this coming season, and I make $1 trillion in my next deal. The interesting one will be whether or not they do Micah Parsons, because the way the contract situation is set up, Dan, he doesn't have a lot of options if he decides to hold out.
Yes, he does. They can't make the playoffs without him.
Right.
The reality is all three of those guys, if either of them held out for any amount of time, significant amount of time this year, the Cowboys cannot make a playoff run. And they won't make the playoffs. I think they're the sixth best team in the NFC right now with all three of those guys. If any one of them, specifically Micah Parsons, says, I'm not playing, they can't make the playoffs. So while he may not have leverage when it comes to the 3 seasons, going into his 4th season, they can't make the playoffs without him.
You expect this to get done quickly? All 3 of these to get done this offseason, Kmart?
I don't know how they're going to do all 3. I don't. To me, Mike is critical, and so I don't know. Dak, I would love for him to play hardball, but will he?
I think they'll get CeeDee and Micah done.
Yeah, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm not even considering signing a contract.
Should not.
He's going to get
$1 year away from being
someone.
a legitimately great quarterback who's an unrestricted free agent in this league. I can't think of anything better to be than that. As we continue, it is the story everyone is talking about. The official explanation given for the exclusion of Caitlin Clark from the Olympic team. You will hear the explanation, and then you will make up your own mind whether or not it made sense. Plus, Celtics coach Joe Mazzulla has had enough. Did you hear the way he defended Jason Tatum yesterday? It got our attention. The question is, was he right? We'll get to that and more as we continue. It's Get Up on ESPN.
So yeah, USAA, they always have my back.
USAA? You were in the military?
Oh no, I wasn't, but my grandpa was. He joined USAA, passed membership to my mom, then to me.
There's other ways to get in?
Yeah. My neighbor Ron, he's in because his wife served. Even little Luna, once she's born, her dad served.
So all this time I could have had USAA insurance.
And banking.
Where's my phone?
Over there.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
What's up at DQ? These two are debating which $7 meal deal, with fries, drink, and a sundae, is the best full-size meal deal of all.
Cheeseburger. Chicken strips.
There's something for everyone in the $7 meal deal at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hey, welcome to AutoZone. What are we working on today?
My car is dirty.
Hey, I've got just what you need. Here's everything you're going to need for a wash.
Looks great.
Frustrated by skin tags? Dr. Scholl's has the breakthrough you've been waiting for.
Now there's an easier-to-use at-home skin tag remover, clinically proven to remove skin tags safely in as little as one treatment.
Arby's understands if you need a steak knife to get into these supremely stacked burgers. But don't forget, teeth are just mouth knives. Arby's, we have the meat.
Grilling is an art. Don't forget to add sausage, Picasso. Keep it juicy.
Jump to the jam, boogie woogie jam, slam, bust the dialect. I'm the man in command. Come, flow with the sounds of the mighty.
They say you can't reinvent the wheel. But they say a lot of things. In 1953, they said our whiskey recipe tasted perfectly fine. So we burned it and made it better. Maker's Mark. Make your mark.
What drives you? For 303, it's putting the best detailing products in your hands. We listen, innovate, test, manufacture, together under one roof. 303 products do what they say, because we do what we say. From our plant to your car, products that perform. 303, driven by quality. Available now at these auto retail locations.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up, I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And the majority of people experienced long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand.
Riley, how was camp?
It was good.
She goes away for 3 days and all we get is good?
She goes away for 3 days and all we get is good?
Yeah, sounds right.
Ask and answer.
Back to the game.
Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2.
Can somebody pinch me?
Ow! Thank you!
Rated PG. Only in theaters Friday.
All right, we are back on Get Up, and this is the story a lot of people who don't normally talk about sports are talking about all across the country. The U.S. Olympic roster for the upcoming Paris Games was officially released yesterday, and as was expected, Caitlin Clark's name was not on it. A major factor in the decision was experience. The team includes 7 players that won gold in 2020. After the release of the roster, the selection committee chair, Jen Rosati, said, quote, "It would be irresponsible for us to talk about her in a way other than how she would impact the play of the team, because it wasn't the purview of our committee to decide how many people would watch or how many people would root for the U.S. It was our purview to create the best team we could for Coach Cheryl Reeve." That was the explanation that was offered yesterday. This, of course, as I mentioned, this is being debated and talked about in so many different places where they don't really know the dynamics of basketball at all, much less women's basketball. You do, we do here. So you are the right person to answer this question. Was the right decision made here?
Yes, the right decision was made for Team USA, who they're chasing gold. That's the goal. That is the ultimate mission, to put the best team possible out on the floor to go win a gold medal. There's a standard when it comes to women's basketball, when it comes to Team USA in general. And I have to think, when the committee was thinking about putting this team together, they considered what Jen Rosati's answer would be when asked, why was Caitlin put on the team? Because you have to imagine we're asking her why she wasn't put on the team. We would probably go to her and say, why was Caitlin put on the team? And if they felt like their only answer was going to be based on marketing, or their best answer or their best reason was based on marketing, not experience, not chemistry with the team, not knowledge of international basketball, not feeling fresh because there's no way she feels fresh. She's been playing basketball since November with one of the highest usage rates we've ever seen. And her usage is the exact same for the Indiana Fever. So you have to think about when Jim Rosati, if she were to answer that question about Caitlin making the team, what was her answer going to be? It wasn't going to have any grounding in her being able to contribute in chasing gold